Don't buy any property without really studying the title report, especially the Schedule B. Join us on today's episode to hear what can happen if you don't. Don't let your future dream home turn into a nightmare.
Welcome back to Land Survey Learn Boundary Talk. I'm Candace, and I'm sitting here with Mike, who currently has his legal research glasses on, which usually means we're about to talk about something expensive and complicated.
You know the look, Candace. Usually it's a property line moved by an inch. Today, it's a property line that isn't even a line. It's a shadow. We've got a letter from Sarah that is a genuine cautionary tale for anyone buying quiet rural land. Let's read the letter. My husband and I finally bought our forever home last spring. 5 acres of quiet rolling meadow at the end of a county road. We spent all summer planting a massive heirloom rose garden and building a custom cedar gazebo right in the center of the property. It was our sanctuary. 2 weeks ago, I woke up to the sound of heavy diesel engines. I looked out the window to find 2 massive excavators and a crew of 12 men unloading rolls of high-pressure steel pipe in the middle of my roses. When I ran out there screaming for them to stop, the foreman didn't even look up from his clipboard. He just handed me a laminated sheet of paper. It was a copy of a blanket easement signed in 1924 by the original homesteader and a long-defunct petroleum company. It basically said that the company had the right to lay pipelines anywhere on the property they deemed convenient. We had a title search done when we bought the place, but our agent told us it was just standard boilerplate for the area and that since there weren't any pipes there now, we shouldn't worry. Now my gazebo is gone, my roses are shredded, and there is a 10-foot deep trench bisecting my backyard. They tell me they have the legal right to be here and that I'm actually lucky they aren't charging me for the cost of moving my gazebo. How can a 100-year-old piece of paper destroy my life like this? Does a survey show these invisible lines?
Okay, let's pause right there. Sarah's story about that blanket easement highlights a critical point that too many homebuyers miss, especially when they're under pressure. We're talking about the title report, specifically something called Schedule B.
You hit the nail on the head, Candace. Buying a house is a whirlwind. You've got loan documents, inspections, appraisals, all on tight deadlines. It's easy to feel rushed, stressed, and just want to sign where they tell you to sign. But the title report is not just another piece of paper. It's the legal history of your property, and Schedule B is the most important part you need to understand.
Title report, think of it as a detailed biography of your land. Schedule A tells you who owns the property and what the legal description of that property is. But Schedule B, that's where the exceptions are. These exceptions are the legal rights or claims that other people, companies, or even the public might have on your land.
Exactly. These are things that limit your ownership or allow others to use your property without your permission, like Sarah's 100-year-old pipeline easement. If you don't read and understand every single item in Schedule B, you could inherit a problem that costs you thousands, or even your dream garden, just like Sarah. It's crucial to pause, ask questions, and make sure you know exactly what you're buying, beyond just the house and the fence. Don't let the rush of closing day make you skip this vital step.
It's your last chance to see those hidden shadows on the land before they become very real, very expensive problems. This is a cautionary tale when buying real estate. Sarah, our hearts go out to you. She bought 5 acres, built a dream garden, and woke up to a pipeline crew claiming a 1924 blanket easement gives them the right to dig wherever they want. Mike, let's start with the basics. What on earth is a blanket easement?
It's a surveyor's nightmare, that's what it is. Most modern easements are described. They say a 20-foot wide strip, 10 feet on either side of the following center line. You can map that, you can draw it. But back in the day, we're talking 1910s to the 1930s, utility and oil companies were lazy.
They'd pay a farmer $50 to sign a paper that said, we can put a pipe or a pole anywhere on this 160-acre farm. Because it doesn't have a specific location, it blankets the entire property.
Exactly. And because it's in gross, meaning it belongs to the company, not a specific neighboring piece of land, it stays in their files forever. Even if the company goes bankrupt, those rights get sold to the next guy and the next guy, until 90 years later, a foreman shows up in Sarah's rose garden.
Sarah asked a great question. Does a survey show these invisible lines?
The answer is maybe. If a surveyor sees a pipeline marker or a vent pipe in the field, we're going to hunt for that easement. But if it's a blanket easement and there is no physical pipe in the ground yet, a standard boundary survey might not show a line for it because there is no line to show yet.
This is where the title report becomes the most important document in your closing packet. Sarah's agent told her it was standard boilerplate. Mike, how many times have we heard that one?
Too many. Standard boilerplate is real estate speak for I didn't read the exceptions page. When you get your preliminary title report, you'll see a section called Schedule B. Those are the exceptions. It's a list of every person who has a right to your land besides you.
If you see the words blanket, floating, or unlocated in that report, your alarm bells should be going off.
Now, Sarah mentioned her gazebo was torn down. Under most of these old easements, the company has the superior right. If your gazebo is in the way of their convenient path, they can move it, and usually they don't have to pay to put it back.
So what's the move here? If Silas from our river episode had a fast break problem, Sarah has a deep history problem.
First, she needs an ALTA survey. That's the American Land Title Association survey. It's more intense than a standard boundary survey. It requires us to review every single one of those title exceptions and show them on the map. If it's unlocatable, we label the whole property as subject to it.
And second, she needs a land use attorney to look at the doctrine of reasonable use.
Right. Even with a blanket easement, a company can't be purely malicious. If they could have gone around the rose garden for the same cost, but chose to go through it just because they felt like it, a judge might have something to say about that.
But the real lesson here for our listeners is don't ignore the title report. If you're buying land, don't just look at the dirt and the trees. Look at the shadows on the paper.
And hire a surveyor before you build the gazebo. If I had gone out there to stake her property, I would have seen that 1924 easement in the records. I would have told her, hey Sarah, you can build here, but just know that the petroleum company technically has a hall pass for your backyard.
It might not have stopped the pipe, but it would have saved the roses and the heartache.
Man, information is the only thing that levels the playing field against a multi-billion-dollar utility company.
Well, Sarah, we are so sorry about your garden. It's a tough way to learn about land law.
That's a whole other episode, Candace. The mystery of the title insurance claim.
We'll save that for next week. Thanks for tuning in to Land Survey Learn Boundary Talk. If this episode scared you into reading your title report, then we've done our job.
Hit that like button so we can reach more homeowners before the backhoes show up.
And subscribe for more stories from the field. If you would like for us to cover a particular topic on boundary law, then please comment below. See you on the next line.